Hi everyone, today is Wednesday, April 22nd, and it is Earth Day. That is a day where you're supposed to go plant flowers or trees or something that's green that would be good for Mother Earth. I did not get anything planted today because we had a rain last night, which was great. But I did go check and see, and my potatoes are coming up. So that's good. Yay, potatoes. Okay, so today your cartoon is going to look like this. But before we get to this cartoon, we're going to play another little game. We're doing games this week. And this is called I Spy. Have any of you guys done the I Spy game when you're like on a long car trip? When you say, I spy with my little eye something green. And then everyone in the car gets turns or guesses on what it is that you are seeing. So we're going to kind of do an I Spy game with direct objects, which we talked about yesterday, the direct objects, and the indirect objects, and how do you tell the difference between the direct object and the indirect object. The first thing that you have to have before you can have either a direct object or an indirect object is you must have a subject and a verb. The subject could be me. I am the actor. I'm the one doing the action in the sentence. I'm the one who's doing it. And then your verb is the action, like writing or talking on my phone. The writing and talking is the verb. And the direct objects and indirect objects follow that. So first you have your subject, then your verb, then a direct object, then an indirect object, and a direct object. So I'm going to give you a few examples before we play the I Spy game, just to make sure that everyone understands what we're doing. As soon as I find my mouse, I shall share something with you. Okay, so right here on this first one, you see this dog holding on for dear life, like, oh, please don't make me get in this bath. He's not going to get into that bath. So in here, she is the subject. The she is the actor. Gave is the verb. Dog is the indirect object. And bath is the direct object. And the way you determine that is you ask this first question. She gave what? She didn't give her dog. She gave a bath, right? So the bath is your direct object. She gave a bath. That would be a complete sentence all by itself. She gave a bath. Who received this action? Who is the receiver of this action? It's the dog. The dog is the receiver of the action. So dog is indirect object. Let me see if I can type that under there. So this is the indirect object, and this is the direct object. Then the direct objects answers the question what? She gave what? She gave a bath. And the indirect object answers who received it. The dog received the action. Okay, so going down to the next one, you see a family who looks like they're having a birthday party for their grandpa. So what if we typed, they gave their grandpa a birthday party. So who is the subject? They. What is the verb? Gave. They gave what? They gave a birthday party. Or let's say they threw. That's another good word for gave. They threw their grandpa a birthday party. So the subject is they, threw is the verb, and they gave what? A birthday party. So the party is the direct object. And who received the birthday party? Who got the birthday party? Grandpa. So grandpa is the receiver of the action, so he's the indirect object. I'm going to type this out here. So here is the indirect object, and the party is the direct object. Okay, so one more. Here you see a family. I don't know why all that stuff is coming up. And it looks like they are reading to their children, doesn't it? Looks like the parents are reading to the children. So what if we said the parents are reading their children a book? So who is the subject in this? Parents. They're the actors. They're the ones initiating or starting the action. What is the verb? Are reading. And then what are they reading? They're not reading their children. They're reading a book, right? So the direct object is what? As book. And who is receiving the reading? Who's receiving the benefits of the reading? The children. So the indirect object, the one who receives the action, is the children. And the direct object that answers the what is the book. Okay, so does that make a little bit of sense? Verb, you must have a subject, you must have a verb. Direct object answers the question of what the verb is doing, and then the indirect object is the receiver of the action. So I thought I would do a fun little game with you, and this is the I Spy part. Let me share another thing with you. Okay, so here is a, can I make this bigger? Yes, I can. So here is a very colorful picture of all sorts of items. So we're going to play I Spy using direct objects and indirect objects. So I'm going to see if I can get my little annotating thing. So the first thing that we are going to, just going to kind of close my eyes, and I'm going to put a stamp somewhere. Okay, so that stamp went to this yellow box, it looks like to me. So the yellow box is what we're going to, is going to be our direct object. And then we're going to come down to the next page and pick, let's do leave. That's going to be our verb, is leave. Okay, so the yellow box is the direct object, and leave is the verb. So let's type up a sentence using that. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Let's use Henry and Jane. Henry, maybe I can. Oops, sorry. Typo. Done with that. Henry left Jane a yellow box full of papers. So what is the subject? Henry is the subject. What is the verb? Left. What did Henry leave? He left a yellow box, right? And who did he leave it for? Who received the yellow box? Jane. So Jane is the indirect object, and the box is the direct object. Okay, let's go up and do one more. And you guys can do as many of these as you want. I gotta get rid of this one though. Let me stop that for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna close my eyes and wander around and hopefully not the same thing. Okay, I can't find it at all. So I'm gonna stop right there for a second. Okay, we're gonna try that one more time. I don't think I can close my eyes because I put the stamp way out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm just gonna pretend to close my eyes, okay? Okay, so let's pull this up again. And let's just do the, let's do the cell phone, okay? So we're gonna make a sentence with the cell phone and our verb, let's do lend. To lend something means you're letting someone borrow it, and it's one of those irregular verbs that you just have to memorize. So this time, let's use Mary and Judy. Mary lent Judy her cell phone. So Mary is a subject, lent is the verb, and what did she lend? She lent her cell phone. I'm going to have to look that up now and make sure that that's correct. Okay, I was correct. So let me get back to our screen. And I have lost it. Okay, sorry about that. We are having some technical difficulties with, I would blame it on the computer, but it's really not the computer's fault. It's just mine. Okay, so we're going to try one more. If I can get it to do the correct thing. Okay, so on the one that we did, Mary lent Judy her cell phone. Mary is a subject. Lent is the verb. And what did she lend? She didn't lend Judy. You can't borrow a person. So she lent the cell phone, right? So the phone is the direct object and Judy is the receiver. She's the one that received it. So that's your indirect object. And that's your direct object. Okay, let's go up and do one more. Let's do the lawnmower. Okay, let's do one with the lawnmower. And we'll do sold. I'm just trying to make that bigger. So let's say the cashier sold let's do Henry again. Sold Henry a new lawnmower. Okay, so who is the subject of the sentence? It's the cashier. And what is the verb? Sold. And what did the cashier sell? they sold the lawnmower. So the lawnmower is the direct object. And who received the lawnmower? Henry did. So Henry, didn't want to do that. Henry is the indirect object. And the lawnmower is the direct object. Okay, so I want you guys to do 5 or 6 more I Spy games with your family members. And I think the kids would have fun with that. And you just are deciding you have to have a subject and a verb. You pick one of the pictures for your direct object, and then you pick a name for someone to be your indirect object. Okay? So that is it for the I Spy game. And this is just a little short video all by itself. And then you'll have a second video for your Ventures curriculum for today. So I will see you in about 2 minutes.